Hi, I'm Melissa Ambers, and I'm the author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. How can businesses overcome resistance to change during digital transformation? Businesses can overcome resistance through effective communication, stakeholder engagement, and demonstrating the benefits of change. We talk about this in Chapter 7 in our book, Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. Strategies for embracing change. Change is inevitable, especially in today's dynamic business landscape. It can be a catalyst for growth and innovation, but it also comes with challenges. We have also created a change framework in the same chapter, Chapter 7, Navigating Change. Communicate change effectively, harness employee involvement, adaptability, nurture leadership, gather feedback, and empower and educate. Under that is another section where we talk about some of the challenges that you face when you are navigating change. And some of the changes are common and they're critical challenges that so many don't want to face or have that constant resistance to change. Resistance is perhaps the most persuasive challenge. Employees and even leaders may resist change for various reasons, such as fear of the unknown, concerns about job security, or the belief that current way of doing things is effective. Overcoming resistance requires a combination of communication, education, and empathy. Let's say you're trying to get in shape. Most of the time, you will have to be trained on how to properly use a resistant band, how to work the resistant band to work whatever areas of your body. You can't just jump in like someone that's been doing it for months or maybe even years. So, no difference than you're trying to get in shape or working out, you will have to be trained. So within the organization, there has to be a consultant come in to help train you on how to notice what needs to happen, and then you can no longer have the resistance to change. Here are some of the reasons for resistance to change: fear of the unknown, loss of control, comfort with the status quo, perceived negative impact, lack of trust, communication, change fatigue, cultural misalignment, loss of skills or expertise, organizational politics, perceived lack of involvement, and past change failures. You can read more about this and some of the problems and solutions that we have listed in Chapter 7 in our book, Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. Thanks again for listening to this session. I'm Melissa Ambers, author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. Hi, I'm Melissa Ambers, and I'm the author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. And I wanted to share with you a quick snippet on going into the digital era and the importance of building a digital strategy and some of the things that you really need to look at as you're preparing to build that digital strategy. In our book in chapter 5, we talk a little bit about that and we go into adapting into the digital environment. I know for some it may be a little bit more difficult than others, but embracing and just adapting into that new area for the ones that's doing a really big shift in going into the digital era and transforming your daily operations. As you know, in today's society or business world, that AI did the digital transformations, operation transformation, technology, all of these things are here. They're not going anywhere. And it's really important that organizations start to transform and understand how to move into that digital era. In one of the sections, like I said in our book in chapter 5, is titled, it's a subsection, Adaptability in the Digital Environment. The digital environment is dynamic and ever evolving. Adaptability is crucial, and EI plays a pivotal role. For those of you that have not purchased the book, we talk about EI, which is emotional intelligence, throughout the book. So if you hear EI, that's what we're referring to, emotional intelligence. Um, Facilitating change acceptance. Change can be met with resistance, but EI helps individuals and teams accept and adapt to new technologies and processes. Enhancing resilience. Resilience is vital in the face of digital disruptions. EI enables individuals to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. Promoting continuous learning. EI fosters a culture of continuous learning and growth, allowing organizations to stay ahead in rapidly changing digital landscape. That is a subsection in chapter 5, adaptability in the digital environment. So it's really important that you look at your organization, assess what needs to be done, work with your team, um, understand what their frustrations are, what are they missing, are the tools that you have in place, is it really working, is it taking more time, do you have to hire extra people to get through a certain process when you really don't have to because you have such an old system? So I would really encourage you to really do a deep dive and assess how your organizations are working, the systems, tools, processes that you're working with, and if everyone is properly trained. Are you really utilizing all the features that your system has, if it is the right system for your organization? Or do you really need to sit down, look at some things, and invest in a system that is more efficient and effective for your organizations? Thank you for listening in. I'm Melissa Ambers, author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. Hi, I'm Melissa Ambers, author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. In this recording, it's going to be really quick, but we really wanted to hit on this point of communication gaps. These gaps can cause a problem throughout your organization, which leads to rumors, misinformation, um, um, things getting back to others that shouldn't be, and it can just, it could just escalate and get bigger and bigger. We really want to hit on those communication gaps and how you can eliminate the issue of having those. The problem: when there are communication gaps, employees may rely on informal channels for information. This can spread rumors, misunderstandings, and inaccurate information about the changes, causing confusion and anxiety. Solution: implement a robust communication plan that includes regular updates from leadership. Provide a central source of accurate information, such as an intranet or dedicated communication platform, to dispel rumors and ensure employees is on the same page. Next problem: lack of clear communication can result in employees not fully understanding their new roles and responsibilities during the transition. This can lead to decreased productivity and frustration. The solution: clearly define new roles and expectations for employees, offer training and support to help them navigate their changed roles effectively. Problem: when employees feel that they are not adequately informed about the reasons for change or how it will impact them, they are more likely to resist the changes. Solution: engage in two-way communication, encourage employees to voice their concerns and provide feedback, address their questions and concerns transparently and empathetically. Problem: sometimes leadership may not fully understand or appreciate the concerns and challenges employees face during the change process. This can create a disconnect between leaders and the workforce. Solution: foster a culture of open dialogue where leaders actively listen to employees. Conduct regular town hall meetings, focus groups, or surveys to gain insights into employee perspectives and concerns. So I gave you the problems and solutions of majority of times what really does happen if you're not going through it like right now, and offered you some solutions. So look at those when you have employee gaps and really make sure that you're being open, clear, and that they are answering that any questions that are brought in, that they are actually answered, regardless of how small or big it is. Give your staff that opportunity to voice their opinions and ask the questions so they can feel comfortable and not assume. And again, rumors, miscommunication, and they're spending more time of worrying, the anxiety of, will I have a job, they're going to decrease my pay, do I have to move to a different department? All of these different things run through their mind. So open up a way that you can have dialogue with your staff and give them the opportunity to hear what is going on directly and not through hearsay. And that will take away any type of confusion or miscommunication. Thanks for listening to this session. I'm Melissa Ambers, author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. Hi, I'm Melissa Ambers, and I'm the author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. We've been going through the chapters and snippets throughout the book to really show you how this can be a tool for your organization and maybe even part of the curriculum for some professors to teach business students how to um, understand business is not the same. And this could be a guide for them on leading into some of those real world um, things that can happen to help them through that. And as far as organizations, this could really be a great resource on navigating those changes and showing you how to lead into the digital era, doing things differently, eliminating wasted time, productivity, being efficient. All of these different things can play a part of your organization not being run really well, or you're losing funds by hiring more people than you really need, utilizing the wrong systems. So there's so many, things that could be within the organization. And this is just not for, your really large organization. This could be for any size business that's not really looking at what could or could not be. Today we're going to talk about navigating change. This is part of chapter 7, and we did a change framework where change is the acronym, because change is important. Change is what helps us grow. Change is what helps us be successful. So we just really have to look at that and understand how to go through the motions. So in chapter 7, we start out with embracing change, and then we go into the framework. So I'll start there. Strategies for embracing change. Change is inevitable, especially in today's dynamic business landscape. It can be a catalyst for growth and innovation, but it also comes with challenges. Through this chapter, You'll explore strategies to not just manage, but to embrace it, ensuring a smoother transition for both leaders and employees. Understanding the change framework. C, communicate effectively. Open, robust, and frequent communication is paramount during periods of change. Leaders must clearly articulate the reasons for change, its benefits, and the expected impact on the organization. We talked about this earlier in one of my other recordings on bringing in your staff, really communicating, letting them know what's happening, why is it happening, make them part of the process. So not only can you get their input, but they can hear what's going on and you can hear the feedback because they're the ones that's in the trenches. They're the ones that's experiencing the phone calls, the frustrations from the customers, or the customers that's upset, systems not working because it's taking too long, and all these other things that may be happening. So we talked about this earlier on bringing them in to get them involved with the process. H, harness employee involvement. Engage employees in the change process, solicit their input, address their concerns, and involve them in decision making. When employees feel like active participants, they are more likely to embrace change. We talked about this. Making them involved, exactly this is what will help you go through that process easier. And when it comes down to training, that process will be easier for you to go through. A, adaptability. Cultivate a culture of adaptability within your organization. Encourage employees to be flexible and open to new ways of working. Recognize and reward adaptability as a value trait. N, nurture leadership. Effective leadership is critical during change. Leaders must lead by example, demonstrating their commitment to the change and guiding their teams through the transition. G, gather feedback. Continuously gather feedback from employees and stakeholders throughout the change process. Use this feedback to make necessary adjustments and address emerging challenges. E, empower and educate. Provide employees with the tools, resources, and training they need to succeed in the change environment. Empower them to make ownership of their roles within the new landscape. It's everything that we talked about before in previous recordings and now. Include your employees, make them part of that process. It will make this so much easier as you go through it because they're involved, and then by them being involved, they're pretty much taking it back to their teammates and letting them know, hey, this is going to be better because this is happening. We had trouble with this system, or this wasn't working, or this was taking too long. We're getting ready to change that. We're going to be able to do this better. And then it also opens the door for you to see the employees that really shouldn't be there. They were hired because you thought you needed those extra bodies, and that's exactly what they are, an extra body. So now it also opens the door for that as well, for those that you can clean house and keep the employees that's really there to help you be a successful organization. Thank you for listening to this session. I am Melissa Ambers, author of Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era. Thank you. Hi, Melissa.